Well, joined this morning by Mr. Femi Olawere, who is Executive Secretary of Major Marketers Association of Nigeria. Thank you for coming on this morning. Well, let's get to hear from you. Yes, we do know something is going on out there in terms of what the NNPC is saying, but from MOMAN's perspective, what is responsible for this?
First, the notion, the impression that only NNPC can supply the country should stop permanently. They can't do that. If you recall, in the first quarter, they gave themselves 78%.
They gave themselves?
Oh, yeah. I mean, they allocated 78% of the allocation to import to themselves.
With that, they said that because the others who were allocated couldn't access Forex, and so the responsibility fell on NNPC, not that they gave themselves that. But
the arrangement should have been you assist the private sector to assess that FX. You see, let me paint the picture right. In the winter months, refineries abroad produce more of the heavy oils because they need that for heating. So they produce less of petrol. That one affects every buyer in the market. So you need many people to go to several places to get the product. And if you give yourself 78%, and I'd say that with all sense of responsibility, because we told them it was wrong. 78%, any problem that happened to 78%, you cannot use 22% to correct it. So they couldn't bring in the 78%.
Why?
I've told you. The product was very scarce, okay, on the international market. Now we are into spring, and therefore the production arrangement in the refineries has changed. You now have PMS coming in, and that's why everybody is confident that pretty soon we'll get more product and all this nonsense will end. Because it's unfair.
Was there a parley between MOMAN and the NNPC when that allocation was done?
We've always requested for more engagement. For that, there wasn't much engagement. The only reason is what we have said. They told us, oh, you can't access FX, and therefore we're going to give you only 22%.
Did they tell you that, or it was the marketers that said, well, since we can't access this, so there's no way we can import?
No. The marketers said, assist us to get FX and we will import.
You know, I asked the question because if that meeting had happened, definitely with suggestions from members of MOMAN, say, okay, help us access foreign exchange, the foreign currency, help us in this aspect. And again, looking at the facilities owned by NNPC and say, hey, wait a minute, guys, you can't take this much because you can't actually shoulder this weight of responsibility. Perhaps they would have saw reason with you people, but that meeting never held.
There was a meeting, but it wasn't a formal meeting. But in all the meetings we've heard, we've made it very clear to them that they alone cannot do it. And it is not a statement we just made. We've been making it for years, that NNPC alone cannot supply the nation. And
what exactly did you see? I'm talking about MOMAN now, not you as a person, that would make you think that NNPC can't shoulder that task?
First, NNPC does not have, even if they had all the monies in this world, they don't have the facilities, the logistics, they don't have it. Look at all their pipelines and depots. They are not functioning very well. So they need us. Okay? And even the retail outlets, they don't have the number that can service the whole country. So we always tell them that it's a question of partnership. It's a question of trusting that the other partner is not a junior partner. Okay, we are equal. If they have access to the foreign exchange, the least they can do is assist us, which is what they are now doing.
Assisting,
and the FX has not gotten to us yet.
Okay.
So what you see is they are really the ones bringing in the product now. Ours will probably start coming in sometime next week, because even all the matured obligations we have with the banks, we have not liquidated that. Yeah, because the FX is not there. The Minister of State has been speaking with the Governor of Central Bank, and we are hoping that pretty soon we'll have access to the foreign exchange. But as we speak, only few people have completed arrangements to import.
How long will that take? You say it's going to take about a week for us to start seeing the product coming in from MOMAN.
Condition, and that condition is they must work hard to make the foreign exchange available to us.
As it stands now, let's go by the statement of the minister saying that for Lagos and Abuja, today's Thursday, he said from Thursday we should be seeing petroleum products in most of the petrol stations. Is that in collaboration with MOMAN?
Oh, sure. We're working closely with them. But you know, Lagos, I don't know whether this point is clear to many people. As of today, there are 1.2 million registered cars in Lagos. And if each car takes 50 liters, that's 6 million liters that Lagos alone must consume every day. Now add that to the fact that neighboring states don't have the product. So to the 1.2, conservatively put another 800,000. So 2 million cars are coming into Lagos to take fuel every day.
We've not even calculated the generators.
That is apart. Generators apart. And other equipment, yes, they are not part of the equation. So Lagos is very key, but we do not have, until of recent, now we have about 3 vessels. 2 are currently discharging, and unless we have them back to back, okay, there's going to be a problem. I mean, the problem will continue, but luckily 2 will complete discharge today, tomorrow. There's a 3rd one on the line, and we expect that continues until we are able to come in. Yeah. But the good news is that we have been loading, and we've been loading massively. Why we don't have the effect is that already there's a big hole. So we're just filling the hole. Until we fill it to the brim, you're not going to likely see any difference. We are always getting the product, okay, and we'll do our best to do. And whenever there is a situation of scarcity, all manner of people come into the marketplace, and all forms of behavior are exhibited. Jerrycan sales, people that have 5 cars that ordinarily only 1 or 2 are on the road, they are bringing all of them out to fill these cars and then go put them in. So the demand is always increasing because the public has not yet got the confidence that this will end pretty soon. But I'm sure that we'll work hard, and
I'm very
next
interested
week,
in the CBN part of it. I mean, because we do know that it was seen that the CBN has been rationing out forex, but only in recent times it was seen that the CBN, but always the CBN has always prioritized forex for marketers, why did the CBN stop selling or giving marketers forex?
Even in the days that the priority was given, you go to the market, and for a cargo of about $12 million to $15 million, you get the thing in trickles. It takes about 4 weeks to be able to get enough for one cargo, because the nation doesn't have enough FX anyway. So if they put everything in the petroleum sector, there won't be anything else for anybody again. So I think they're trying to ration, and they are rationing. But we are saying that with the situation that all of us are observing, they should give us more priority. They should give us more priority. The minister is also talking to some of the IOCs to assist. But I think for now, only 2 are really assisting. And
how does it work?
sorry, I'm not going to mention their names.
Yeah, how does it work with the IOCs, though?
No, there are some of us that have affiliations with the IOCs.
For instance, the ones that have the upstream and downstream.
Yeah.
They tied the upstream and
Good.
downstream to
Yeah.
support.
Yeah, they're giving them some support. And
Yeah, but would you say that in the past, because I don't know if this word came out then, that marketers also abused forex access from the CBN?
the word abuse, I'm always very careful to say yes or no, because we are all human beings, and I cannot say everybody is upright. But for us as major marketers, we have never abused it. I don't know of any other group.
In the meeting you had with the NNPC, was there an agreement that the NNPC was going to assist the marketers or the major marketers to access forex from the CBN?
Yeah, the minister made it clear that he was going to do his best, because he's always talking with the CBN governor. But the CBN governor also has the whole of the country to look at. So he's been talking with him, and he gives us periodic reports of what is happening. And then once in a while we get some form of assistance. But we're saying that for this situation to go quickly, the assistance should be constant, consistent, and it should be massive enough. And not that you give us, out of the 12 million, you give us 2 million today, another 5 million tomorrow.
I think